Take a look at this Facebook ads account right here. Most people would assume that they have their Facebook ad strategy dialed in because they're spending so much on monthly ad spend. But in reality, their performance, their ROAS, and their overall sales have been dropping for months. And that's because sure, a good product, offer, and the momentum from what used to work on Meta will take you pretty far. But if your ad account has not evolved into what Meta has told everyone they care about, then eventually this same exact decline will happen to you regardless of how much you're spending monthly. And this is something I've seen after spending over $100 million on Meta ad spend, and I've seen this pattern too often to ignore it. So today I'm going to show you what used to work on Facebook ads, what actually works and matters now, so that you can make changes to not only prevent a future decline in performance, but also to profitably scale your ad account. So before I tell you why Meta ads has even changed in the first place, and then get to sharing the new strategy in 2026 for Facebook ads, I'm going to walk through the old playbook, what used to work on Facebook ads in terms of the structure and the intent of each campaign and ad set. Okay, so the old Facebook playbook was essentially creating an ad account structure that had both top, middle, and bottom of funnel. So you're building a sales funnel, right? And of course, the idea was that the top of funnel would spend the most amount of money and you get the cheapest amount of clicks, etc., so that your middle and bottom of funnel campaigns essentially give you the best ROAS. So the campaign structure intent was built on segmenting your funnel by campaign. You had top, middle, and bottom of funnel campaigns. And then if you go over to the ad set, the intent behind the ad set was the targeting that I do and the level of targeting that I can implement is indicative of the performance that I can expect from my ads. And so your ads could be subpar, but as long as you're hitting the right piece of targeting on there and it lands in front of the right person, it would be super scalable. And what this created in each campaign was the need to make sure that you're testing so much on the targeting standpoint. And then all you would do was duplicate the ads over to each ad set, because the approach was the best targeting will perform regardless of what ads are up. And moving on to the ad portion of this, the old playbook, you could really just run 3 pieces of creative, and the old playbook used to work to where you can scale 2 or 3 ads if they ended up winning to 20, 30K, and they would just keep on spending and keep on going, right? And so if you're listening to this and you're running Facebook ads right now, you're probably frustrated because you're going, well, why did Facebook operate this way? It seemed way easier to manage and to get better results. And that's because it was, and that's because Facebook ads changed. And so I'm going to go over what Facebook actually cares about, why they changed, and then I'm going to shift gears into talking about what this means for you and how you can alter your strategy to align with Facebook's incentive, which is ultimately going to be the best thing you can do for your ad account if you're trying to grow, which really is the goal. If you become business partners with Facebook ads and they understand what's important to you and you understand what's important to them, they will continue to get you customers and you will continue to provide a better user experience for people on their platform. It is a win-win. It's as simple as that. Okay, so what ultimately changed with Facebook ads? If you've been running Facebook ads for a while, then a lot of you know that back in 2021, there was an update on iOS 14.5 that rolled out. And basically what this did, a lot of you still get it to this day. It's the notification that says, allow this app to track your behavior, etc., etc. And what this did for advertisers is it gave them the ability to have that person cookied for longer and the accuracy for them when they actually converted to be passed back to Meta. But most people, when they see that notification, they immediately opt out, right? And as a result, it hurt Facebook ads performance tremendously from not only a tracking standpoint, but a targeting standpoint. And so this was actually out of Facebook's control. This was something that Apple rolled out and Facebook had to roll with the punches. And Facebook's ultimate goal is, number one, they want to provide users the best experience, because if people stay on their platform more, they can serve more ads to people, which is how they ultimately make money. And number two is they want Facebook ads to work for the businesses that are running ads on their platform, because if businesses are spending money on ads and it works, they will spend more money on ads. And so Facebook works. And this is why I said, if you understand Facebook ads and how they operate, you can become business partners with Facebook ads, because you'll both be mutually incentivized to grow each other's business. And so you may still be wondering, well, it still seems like Facebook ads got harder. And that's because, yes, it's true in a sense, but there's been so much technological advance on the back end of Facebook and to their algorithm that makes it easier for them to find your customer, despite the iOS 14.5 disruption and the inability to do a lot of things due to privacy regulation. And so the changes that Facebook ads has made to their algorithm is called Andromeda. But most people think of Andromeda as this one singular change to the platform, but that is the furthest thing from the truth. Here is a graphic that shows 5 pieces to the Facebook ads algorithm, and you'll notice Andromeda is just one piece to that. You have lattice, Andromeda, sequence learning, gem, and adaptive ranking. And so without boring you to death, let me just summarize real quickly what the Facebook ads algorithm now does, and then ultimately I'll shift into what matters now in 2026. If you distill the algorithmic update to make advertisers' lives better and get the performance they're needing, it comes down to two main things. Create content that's specific so Facebook ads can reach the right person. Before, as I mentioned, you were doing the targeting. Now your content is doing the targeting. So if you can have a really drilled in piece of creative that speaks to somebody's pain point, presents a solution, and then presents an offer and gives people a justification to buy your product, you will win. And why is that? It's because the algorithmic update does one thing very well. They understand psychographics better than you. They have millions of data points. And so they know me, they know the context of my search history across multiple browsers, my scroll depth and my likes, etc. on Facebook ads, what I've just purchased, if I purchased something from a Facebook ad. And so they have so much context on me as an individual. And so if you have ads that speak to a problem and a solution, they have the ability to put it in front of the right person in the right stage of the funnel. So if I'm somebody who likes the gym and I need to be educated on a specific product, but it's still going to be relevant, that is the type of content you should be producing, and Facebook ads will know to put it in front of me. Basically, Facebook ads is doing the heavy lifting with the targeting, but you are doing the heavy lifting with the ad creative. You have to deeply understand the personas and angles around your product that are going to psychologically get people to convert. Then you need to build creative and build a framework for testing around that. And when you can do that with a consolidated account, and all I mean by that is launching fewer campaigns and running fewer campaigns is better, because if you have 10 different campaigns and you're sending conversion data to Facebook ads across 10 campaigns, they're not able to learn as fast as they would if you had one campaign with all of those conversion signals going into that one campaign. That is going to strengthen their ability to target, and it's going to get you a more predictable and scalable outcome long term. And now that we know why Facebook ads change and ultimately what they care about now and what they've done on their back end to get you a better result, I'm going to show you an ad account structure and then recap the 3 things that you can focus on today to make sure that your Facebook ad account strategy is relevant in 2026. I'm in an ad account right now, and as you'll see, I just have one campaign. Totally fine. You'll see it says USA. If I was selling in Canada, I would probably duplicate this campaign, and then I'd make the campaign for Canada, and I would just do all my targeting in Canada. And so really simple, it's going to be a CBO campaign, meaning that the budget is going to be assigned at the campaign level, and that the ad spend across all your ad sets is going to be determined based on what Facebook's predictive modeling suggests is going to get you the best result. If we go in and we start taking a look at the ad sets, you'll notice a couple things here. One, all I'm doing is I'm optimizing for a purchase. I'm selecting my geo, and I have 0 targeting enabled. Why? Because you don't need to do targeting anymore. As I mentioned, Facebook ads has done the heavy lifting on the back end to do the targeting. You just need to focus on building creative and a funnel around creative to actually enable the changes that Facebook ads has made to work for you. So for example, let's just say my business sells overnight oats, and it's a quick and easy and nutritious alternative for people who have busy mornings or whatever it is that to do. You'll notice my ad sets now, I just walked through it, that's all broad targeting. And why is that? Because the creative is going to do the targeting, but the creative needs to build a funnel, meaning that Facebook is not going to show the same ad over and over to the same individual who's been introduced to your brand, because the likelihood of them converting is really low if they keep doing that. So think of it. If you see an ad for the first time and you're being introduced to a product for the very first time, it's probably going to take some warming up before you just decide to convert. Most people don't convert on an ad the first time. Usually they get educated about the product, why they need it, why it's going to solve their specific problem, and then they need credibility. This company's claiming something. Is it credible? They need to see a piece of UGC from somebody who's done it. They need to see reviews, testimonials, whatever. And then they need to see an offer ad, and that usually gets them over the hump. That's how you build a funnel. You educate or introduce somebody to your product and ultimately make them feel like it was made for them with people who are going through their exact same issues. Number 2 is you build credibility around the claim you made in the first ad that they saw that introduced them to the product and told them that it would solve a very specific problem. And then thirdly is you close the deal by putting an offer ad in front of them. And so if you look at the structure of this, again, if I am an overnight oat company, I have several different people who could be interested in my product. So the way I've labeled this is, right, I have pack 1. These are like the first set of ads that I'm going to launch. Busy mom. So all of my ads in here are going to speak to busy moms in the morning and ultimately talking about how this product is going to be an easy and quick alternative while ensuring that they're not skipping the most important meal of the day. And so you can have top of funnel concepts like the education around the importance of breakfast, and then ultimately how this is cheaper than going to Chick-fil-A or whatever it is that busy moms opt for. And then you can have more top of funnel ads, because more top of funnel ads is better than more bottom of funnel ads, because again, the funnel starts wide up top and narrows down. So in theory, you need more top of funnel ads than you do bottom of funnel ads, because you need to get more net new exposure. And the way you do that is by building more net new top of funnel concepts. And so let's just say you have 2 top of funnel ads. One is about a product demo around a mom showing how easy and quick it is to make the product. And then you'll funnel it down to where you have an actual mom doing a UGC piece and talking about how she loves this product. And then the last ad that you would create is something like a static. You'll notice the next persona that I have is meathead. So think of people who love going to the gym, who are addicted to protein. You can talk about same things. You can talk about the education of macros and how overnight oats beats the nasty, chalky protein bar that most busy meatheads opt for in the morning. The whole picture I'm trying to paint is Facebook ads does the targeting, you build the creative that enables them to do their job better, and you have to span full funnel. So if you can build ads for multiple personas, that is multiple groups and types of people who can benefit from your product, and you can storytell on why they need your product and get them to convert, great. Now your next job is just to create more volume for that. And the way you do that is by having a dedicated framework. And so for me, what I am doing is weekly, I am building ad creative for my clients. And so I'm launching a new pack every single week. If Busy Moms ends up winning, I'm the next few weeks just going to create ads for this busy mom concept. If Meatheads ends up winning, I'm going to do the same thing. If none of these win, I'm going to think of new personas and angles that I can test for different personas until you find a winning one. So make sure you're uploading weekly. Start with anywhere from 5 to 10 ads weekly that you're launching in your ad account around a specific persona and angle. And so, okay, just to recap what actually matters and the new strategy in 2026 that you should be focused on in your Facebook ad account, it's 3 main things. 1, make sure your tracking is set up crystal clear, because the quality of the signals that you're sending to Facebook allow the algorithm to be trained to get more of those actions. Meaning if purchases is the goal, if you have a conversion tracking break or something's wrong with your purchase conversions and you're not sending as many purchases back to the platform as possible, then you're limiting your ability for Facebook ads to get stronger at repeating that action over time. Number 2 is consolidation. I mentioned this, make sure you have fewer campaigns than more. In most cases, you only need 1 campaign unless you have various profit margins on different product categories. And number 3, which is really the most important action here, is get a creative system built and a framework to where you're uploading video and static ads around specific personas and angles in your ad account every single week. You will iterate on winners, and if you find no winners, you will keep rinsing and repeating until you do. Now, if you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you guys subscribed. I'll be posting one strategy breakdown like this every single week, and my whole goal from this is really to stop brands from burning money on easy, fixable mistakes that they can take action on today. And if you want somebody to come in and manage your Facebook or your Google ads, that is exactly what I do. There's a link in the description, or you can scan the QR code. And lastly, if you feel your account is Andromeda friendly, but your ads still aren't converting, watch this video next. It breaks down the exact 5 static ad formats that are crushing for brands right now.